you guys kept a lot of retention at that linebacker core. What's kind of like the plans for them, and how do you want to see them take that leap this year?
Right, and I think it's important as a coach, you always build a plan for your players as to what they need to work on and then how we're going to work to improve it together. And so even a player like, Xavier Atkins, who had amazing production and a lot of numbers, there's so many things he can get better at in his game. And so we sat down and met with him and gone through that. And I think the great part is that he's very open to that too, realizes it, knows it as well. On down to guys that maybe didn't play as much, obviously, the things they need to work on. So that's what we do kind of this time of year, is individualize our plans for our players and really put it in place. Like, here's the things we've identified as, weaknesses or things to work on, and then here's specifically how we're going to work on it. And that room in particular, those guys really embrace it. It's awesome. They're very coachable, and they want to get better.
DJ, just want to ask you another room, defensive end, edge. You lost a couple of really productive players there. How do you feel like the guys you brought in there? Is that a room where you may look to bring in or change the position, bring a guy like Durkin maybe, or maybe a defensive lineman to play the 5 techs, something like that?
I really like the room we put together as a whole in our defensive front. Just watching these guys run and move around, I think really helped ourselves. Is impressive. There's always, you guys know, we play a lot of different personnel packages and guys in and out defensively. So we have a lot of answers for edge type guys, and whether it's in a pass rush situation or just normal down and distance. I think on our roster, one of our strengths, I think, is a lot of those linebacker body types that can play the buck position for us and/or inside linebacker.
Ferg, and then Davis, and then Nathan.
Just first, Auburn. You guys brought back 3 defensive linemen that were freshmen last season, got their feet wet. How important was that to bring them back, and obviously getting Dallas back for another year? How big is that for what y'all doing front?
Man, I tell you what, that waiver coming through was huge with Dallas. I think Dallas played really well for us last year. I think he got better and better as the year went on, and obviously he'll be a guy we count on for sure moving forward. So that was a big one for us. And then the 3 freshmen you talked about, those guys, they played productive snaps for us last year, and to play as a true freshman defensive line in the SEC is not an easy thing to do. We have really, really high expectations for those guys this year and moving forward. And so to have them all return and still be here with us and being that next year development is critical. I think one of the things being so missed and lost in cultural right now is the development. And, the way you get better at anything in life is to do something consistently over and over again. And, when these guys bounce around from year to year, and you get different coaches, different systems, different drills that you're working on, it's hard to continue to develop at the rate you should. And so those guys in particular, we're expecting great things from them.
DJ Davis Baker, WSK Montgomery. I know you've been coaching a while, but are there any lessons that you learned from your time last year as an interim that you think can make you a better defensive coordinator going forward? And if so, what are those?
I think in life it always helps when you change the lens in which you're looking at things. Right? The things you look at then change. So sure, just for a little amount of time, it broadens your perspective on things and helps you understand maybe other positions better. I think all in all, right, when you gain those experiences, like being a coordinator, I think to go back and be a position coach, it helps you be a better position coach. Being a head coach helps you go back and be a better coordinator. As you go to that next step and you're kind of seeing what you want, how you want it done. And so I think there's good reminders in that for sure.
Nathan and then Mike.
DJ, Nathan King, Auburn in recovery. Those few weeks for you last season of being promoted to interim and then joining Coach Golich's staff. Can you kind of talk about that from a personal perspective? What that was like for you, having to kind of a bit of a whirlwind back and forth and being involved in Auburn's coaching search, and now talk as well about your decision to stay here and remain the defensive coordinator under Coach Golich.
Yeah, I think, we all learn from experience in life, and I think I've had enough experiences in college football and coaching in general to know when you're at a great place, don't be in a hurry to leave it. I think Auburn is a great place. I think we can win at the very highest level here, compete for championships. We will do that. I love the guys I get to coach on a day-to-day basis. I love this community, this university. My family really loves it here, and so those things are all easy. The time doing that obviously was it was 900 miles an hour, and at some point I'll have a chance to maybe look back and reflect a little better. Just really haven't had that. I mean, it was every day going full speed and then right into the next thing and then into the portal and everything else going on. So that's kind of how our job works, how we operate. I'm good with that. I'm very, very blessed to be here and thankful for the opportunity Coach Golich has provided.
Mike?
Coach, Michael Gibbs, World War. Xavier Atkins exploded on the senior college football last year. Can you talk about getting him back and what that does for your defense? And then can you talk about who is you guys acquired that may have the opportunity to do what Xavier did?
Yeah, I mean, I think his numbers speak for themselves. Obviously, the production at a very high rate. It was really fun for me to see. I was part of Xavier's life at a younger age. He was in high school and recruiting him and getting to know him and his situation. And so to then see it through, I thought at one point we were going to be together coming out of high school, and things happened that didn't happen. But to get him here now and to be a part of that with him, to see him play at that level has been tremendous. And like I said, I think he has a lot of room for improvement in his game. I think he's got a lot of ways to get better. And those numbers, those are hard to improve on, but we're certainly going to strive for it. But I think just in his game in particular, there's a lot of things we can do to get better at that. Overall, defensively, we did make a lot of additions to our defensive front, as well as at the corner position in the back end. And we have some guys here that are extremely talented. You go watch our guys in workouts and run around. It's like, okay, we got a chance to be really good. Now, you say that right now, February, the biggest challenge for all of our guys is going to be, and it's I think probably kind of nationwide, is how do you come collectively together as a team and build a togetherness and a standard of which they're going to operate together, because you got a bunch of new faces on it, and it's like, okay, we play the ultimate team sport, and the only way you're going to have success is those guys are bought into being accountable, being a part of something bigger than themselves. And so we've already talked about a bunch of our guys, and that's what it's going to be now. We're starting to build that right here in our winter workouts, through spring ball, through summer, and getting into the season.
Go Ferg, do Matt, and be finished.
I want to ask you about Deshaun Womack being one of the St. Francis guys also, but he's been in the league for several years. How important is it to get a guy like him who's been there and done that, especially off the edge in this league?
Yeah, huge. I mean, getting Sean was a great one for us. He's a NFL type talent, body, just all his movement skills for the size he is pretty incredible. And he has a great relationship with a lot of guys on our team. As you mentioned, the St. Francis High School connection. Those guys look up to him. He's a guy that's been a leader in their lives and somebody they looked up to at a younger age as well. And so I think that's natural connection with some of the guys on our team, and we're certainly going to expect big things out of him.
Right?
DJ, every head coach has his way of doing things. What's different or what's changed for you over the last couple of months in the way the program's being run now?
Yeah, Coach Golich does a great job. I think he has a really good detailed plan of how he wants things done in every aspect of the program. There's a good plan in place and good reason behind it. He's an extremely hard worker. He's extremely approachable. I love that. We've had good conversations on a lot of things, and you can you can tell there's good feedback on both sides of those conversations, which I love. And so I think our players feel it too. I think they see it. As a coach or a player, when you're part of something, an organization, I mean, you want to know that there's good reason why everything we're doing. And when you know what that is and feel good about it, I mean, what else can you ask for? And he does an outstanding job as a communicator to the coaches and players.
All right, thank you, DJ.
Thanks, DJ.
Okay, thank you.